How do you identify an instrument when the label is missing? When no brand mark or signature give a clue who made the instrument? Then we have to look for the clue in the instrument's construction. In this video I will talk about the Vogtland violin maker Johann Christian Ficker I, who worked in Markneukirchen, Germany, and laid the foundation for what later becomes the Ficker family. Hi, my name is Dominik. I'm a Baroque violinist and have been studying the Ficker family since 2024. Welcome to the Baroque blog. Before looking at the maker himself, let's first take a look on his instruments. The instrument we're looking at was made around 1705. What makes this violin very special is it has survived largely in its original condition. The sound of this violin is dark and well balanced. What stands out most is a singing carrying upper register. Despite the strong arching, the instrument has a good projection. This characteristic sound is closely connected to the instrument's construction, and it's typical for an instrument from the Ficker tradition. His model is based on the work of the Tyrolean violin maker Jakob Steiner from Absam, Austria. Steiner's instruments are known for their high arching and elegant slender outline and were long regarded as ideal sound models. During the 17th and early 18th century, this model was adapted across Europe and served as a starting point for many workshops to develop their own models. Examples can be found in England with Richard Duke, in Italy with Lorenzo and Tommaso Carrassi, in France with Jean-Baptiste Salomon, and in Germany with makers such as the famous Klotz family in Mittenwald. Because the violin has survived largely in its original condition, the workshop traditions of the Ficker family can be seen very clearly. One important feature is the neck construction. Already at the beginning of the 18th century, Ficker instruments shown angled necks. This adjustment helped to balance the strong arching of the top and improve the playability. Instead of using a separate upper block, the neck was set with a so-called foot, formed by the end of the original neck and glued directly into the body. Another characteristic feature is the absence of corner blocks. This construction method was used by members of the Ficker family through the 18th century and into the early 19th century. It can also be found in other Vogtland workshops, such as the famous Hop family from Klingenthal. Let us now turn to attribution. Unfortunately, the instrument has neither a label or a typical brand mark, which makes attribution more difficult. From the early 18th to the early 19th century, the Ficker family trained several generations of violin makers in its own family, who often worked together in the same workshop. As a result, their instruments shared many similarities, which makes attribution more difficult. For this reason, the attribution relies entirely on the instrument itself, its proportion, model, workmanship, varnish, and the shape and placement of the F-holes. Measurements at the back plate showed that the instrument was reworked and thinned. During this process, the original label and brand mark were lost. After considering all criteria, measurements, and discussions with violin makers and experts, the violin can be plausibly attributed to Johann Christian Ficker I. And finally, let's speak about the maker himself. The life dates of Johann Christian Ficker I are unknown and only limited written information about him have survived. Based on instruments attributed to him, his work period is placed between 1700s and 1722. During this time, Markneukirchen was already an active and growing center of instrument making in the Vogtland region. Violin making was organized through many small workshops, working in close connection, sharing models, technique, and tradition. Even without documented information about his training or workshop organization, the instruments themselves demonstrated a consistent and well-defined approach of construction. His violins are already regarded as noble by experts, violin makers, dealers, and collectors. Fun fact, before 1900, some of his instruments are even described as Italian, showing how clearly they stood out from other Vogtland works. Johann Christian Ficker I is an early figure in violin making in the Vogtland region and helped to shape its traditions. Even though only limited information about his life has survived, his instruments speak clearly about his work and his craftsmanship. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and let me know in the comment section what you would like to see next. See you soon and thank you for watching.